left with barely $100 to his name and a mule as contrary as the grass was green. Now the annual rendezvous was no more. The trapping fraternity had disbanded. Most had headed back to the States. Ben had almost done the same, although it galled him to slink off with his tail between his legs like a whipped cur. He'd had such a grand dream. Then the Almighty sent a godsend in the form of a friendly Arapaho by the name of White Antelope. They had met many winters before, when a much younger Frazier stumbled on a small Arapaho village. Wariness had grown into guarded respect and eventual friendship. On many an occasion, Frazier had stayed at White Antelope's lodge, always bringing presents for the family. It got so the children called him Uncle. About 2 months ago, on a pleasantly cool evening, as Frazier sat glumly beside a crackling fire, pondering how unfair life was, he'd been alarmed to hear the light tread of a footstep. Leaping up, he'd brought his heavy hawking to bear, then relaxed when out of the shadows stepped White Antelope. The warrior had heard about the collapse of the beaver trade, and had come to say goodbye. The gesture mightily touched Frazier. As a token of affection, he gave White Antelope a spare Green River knife, a fine blade, never used. The Arapaho had admired it a while, then taken a small pouch from his side. "I have something for you, too, as well, scared of rabbits." Frazier thought back to that morning, shortly after they met, when a rabbit had bounded from some brush and startled him so badly he jumped and accidentally snapped off a shot. The Arapahos thought his antics hilarious. Thus the name. "There's no need for you to give me anything. You've shared your lodge and your food more times than I can count. The knife is my small way of saying thanks." "One gift deserves another," White Antelope replied. He'd held the pouch in his palm. "I know how much whites value that which you call money. I also know you have little of it, and that you would like to have much." The reminder soured Frazier. "My people breathe money." "I do not understand." "Think of it this way. The worth of an Arapaho warrior is measured by how many coups he's counted and how many horses he owns. The worth of a white man is measured by how much money he has and how many things he's bought with it." Frazier sighed and said in English, "It's why I've spent all those winters breaking my back raising plues. Beaver hides were worth a heap of money for a spell." "Why only beaver, my friend?" "A fox hide sheds water just as well. A bear hide is warmer. And the hide of a buffalo has many more uses." "Yeah, I know," Frazier said, reverting to Arapaho. "But the whites who live east of the Muddy River only wanted beaver. My people call that fashion." "Again, I do not understand." "White people who have a lot of money like to buy a lot of clothes, but never the same kind of clothes for very long. For a while they liked beaver hats and beaver trim, but now they're bored with that and have gone on to something else. Silk, I heard it's called." White Antelope had digested the information. "White people are strange. My people have worn buckskins for more winters than anyone can remember. Why should we change when buckskin is easy for our women to cure and sew, and holds up so well?" "There are days, my friend, when I almost wish I'd been born an Arapaho." The warrior smiled. "Your words touch my heart, scared of rabbits. Here." He held out the pouch.